Are we raising a whole generation of people that don't want to admit their faults or own up to what they've done, even though now there's cameras everywhere to prove you did something, so why the fuck lie about it at all? And also we're going to talk about and review a new thing from the Dunkin' Donuts menu, which, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with Dunkin' Donuts, I'll be honest. I should know better, yet said, because I've gotten bad coffee. There is such a thing, as far as just, I've gotten an old pot of coffee for my iced coffee, and I feel it for at least a couple days afterwards with, you know, the bubble guts and, you know, shitting nonstop. Sorry for being so graphic, but we're going to talk about this marathon high school runner who bopped another girl in the head purposely, and now she's pretending she didn't do shit, as well as talk about and review the newest thing on the Dunkin' Donuts menu, which is now their version of sliders, more specifically the ham and cheese sliders from Dunkin' Donuts. Ham and cheese in the pretzel looking ass bun, tiny little fucking things, as you can see. Nothing too big, nothing too much to write home about. Straightforward, I'm guessing. And I think they got no dressing, no nothing inside. So they're bare bones. Yeah, just, oh no. I think it's got mustard inside, as you can see on the top, cheese, and ham melted in. So yeah, good for them. They did that at least. Enough to put mustard. I would prefer mayo, but, you know, I didn't figure to ask that. Or swap out the mustard for mayo instead. I'm a mayo boy, I'm sorry, I gotta admit. But before we take our first bite into this thing and see how it tastes, and again, I'm aware it's a slider, it's tiny. I'm probably going to be hungry still afterwards, but what are you going to do? Such is life. The story that broke now, today at least, there's a high school marathon runner by the name of, I'm going to butcher this probably, Layla Everett, running a marathon, you know, doing the thing, huffing and puffing as she goes, you know, running with the baton in hand and shit. Basically, she bopped another girl called Kylie Tucker. I'm going to butcher these fucking names. In the head with a baton, bopped her. And now, because people have come out, of all things, that probably take high school marathon running too seriously, she wants to come out and say, oh, I've been a victim of racism. I received death threats because of all this, when I didn't even mean to do it in the first place. It was an accident. I was just being clumsy. It looks like maybe I could have maybe meant to do it and bopped her purposely, but I swear to God it was an accident, which is all bullshit, because I play a bit of the clip either behind me or to the side, however I choose to edit it. You can see clearly, when you run, I'm no pro at marathon running. I'm no expert. I'm not athletic at all. But as per usual, marathon runners, if I'm not mistaken, the ones that run track like that, you run with your arms going up at your sides as you stride along, right? And doing your marathon thing. That's per norm. When you look at the clip, you'll see that she is doing that up until a certain point. But when this girl, Layla Everett, pulls up to the one she bopped in the head, Kylie Tucker, she stops doing this with both arms. She doesn't even drop one arm. She drops, I think, the left arm, how it went. But more importantly, you focus on the arm with the baton in it. Not only does she keep that up the whole time, and she stops moving it up and down, she stays cocked and ready, cocks back, and then bonks her in the head. As clear as day. There's no hiding that. There's no arguing that. There's no disputing that whatsoever. She did what she did. And as far as her arm getting cocked back as far as it was, absolutely she meant to do so. Out of what exactly, what the motives were, who knows. Frustration of not being able to be as fast as that girl that she hit in the head. Not being able to clearly win the thing. Probably holding the team back. I don't know. I don't know the full details of the high school marathon race they were doing. But the point is now, she wants to come out and cry about racism and or death threats. Now listen, as far as death threats, that's a little too much, obviously. Everyone has access to the internet. Unfortunately, that means everyone's opinion is out there, right or wrong, or, you know, however they view it as, basically. So they'll spout these things about, oh, you know, insert random death threat in the comment section on whatever social media platform they use, most likely Facebook. But when you look at it, though, of course, we know by now, most of the people making death threats and or racist remarks about this shit are normally cowards. They're not going to do shit, God forbid, if it becomes a dealing with that shit in person, but they want to act tough and hide behind a keyboard. I understand that part. But there's no hiding, and this girl should really be coming out in the open and admitting to her fault, which is she did it on purpose. The body language does not lie. I am not a body language expert. I'm barely a food expert. But there's no hiding or denying the fact that she absolutely meant to bonk that girl in the head with the baton in hand. Now, if she didn't have the baton in hand, well, she had probably just smacked her, punched her purposely, whatever. Probably not, because that'd be too blatant. And I don't know, I guess she's a high schooler, so a minor, so I don't know about being arrested or nothing like that. But maybe she thought it'd be a good idea, spur of the moment kind of thing, to try to play it off or downplay it with a baton in hand, like, oh, don't mind me, guys. I've been trained to marathon run, since middle school, high school, whatever. I know what I'm doing, but I'm still clumsy enough to take this baton, cock my arm back, and bop somebody as they pass me by because they're about to beat me. So I might as well beat them in the back of the head to remind them not to beat me ever again in their life. Which nowadays, of course, look, 2025, there's no hiding nothing nowadays. I forget who said it the other day, beautifully said, comedian of some sorts. It's impossible to cheat nowadays. You got to keep your tracks. You got to make sure, your iPhone has my location off and you're not sharing it with your spouse or whatever. Not like I'm endorsing cheating. But I'm saying in comparison to like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe not so much 10 because they can still kind of track you down, but maybe like 20 years ago, it was a lot easier. There weren't so many cameras around. There wasn't so much tech that could track your location, drop a pin on you to see where the fuck you are if they really, really want to keep tabs on you like that. And with cameras being everywhere now and higher quality, better image to dissect shit, and replay it back if they have to, there's no hiding doing anything no more, with or without intent. And absolutely, she did it on purpose. So, I'm sorry, but this girl don't get to fucking cry crocodile tears after the fact because she got caught. She's only sorry and crying because she got caught. That's all it boils down to. I don't care if she's a high schooler. I don't care if she's still a kid, technically. She knew what she was doing. She did it. She should face up to what she did. I don't know. I forget what state it happened in or went down in. But I'm guessing, depending if she's a liar. Well, she's a liar. But I'm going to say, if she's a minor, I don't know where she's located geographically, what or how to approach this thing is, but I would hope at least, if not, at least a blemish on her record, literally, to demerit her or get her out of marathon running. I wouldn't want to see something like a slap on the wrist, like, okay, you're suspended for like 6 months for marathon running. I would think the fair thing to do in this case, before it develops into something else or worse, is you're not allowed to marathon run no more in this state. So if she really wants to, or her parents want to, whatever, drive her ass out to another state, move to another state where they might let her. If she's even, because it doesn't even seem like she's that good. I didn't get that impression from her. And, she was trying to keep up with the other girl. Obviously, she wasn't good enough to pass her or beat her. So she said, I might as well beat her in the back of the fucking brain with this baton. It's not going to hurt too much, but still, even if it's not too much of an impact or too large of a blow per se, it's not like she had a brick in her hand and bopped her in the head at full speed. It was a baton. The batons are light, they're hollow. They do the whoop sound a lot. So it's a bonk. It's a light. It registers very lightly on the scale of impact. I get that. So I'm not over exaggerating to say, oh my God, she tried to kill her, basically. No, it's not that either. But the intent is there. You see the body language of her cocking her arm back to hit her in the head when she could have just kept her arms up and running as marathoners do. But no, she chose to take action. Very stupid course of action. And now look at her now. Now she's got to deal with death threats and racist remarks on the internet because she chose to be stupid like that. And I hate to talk about someone that's a minor, underage like that. And I hate to see people give her the benefit of the doubt because she's young and she doesn't know any better. No, she fully knew what she was doing when she did that. Sportsmanship is, part of it at least, is not doing that type of shit. Not flailing all over the fucking field when you're playing soccer when the guy didn't even fucking touch you, or pretending and faking injuries, or like you're dying or you're about to lose a limb because someone like barely flicked you with like an index finger. No, this shit was intentional. She should, I don't know about banned, but at least, you know, at the very bare minimum, don't let her play. No, don't let her run no more this year. What's left of the fucking season. If there's like an academic probation type of thing, or I don't know, maybe like their own internal court judgment system, whatever, they can probably determine from that. But I would say, if anything, keep an eye on her, because if she's capable of doing that, I'm not saying she's going to do worse, but it could escalate to much further, because she obviously can't control her emotions. In that sense, she's no good to be an athlete, or at least a marathon runner. Take up volleyball, take up badminton, pick up some other less interesting shit that has no potential to make it to the Olympics. So imagine this girl makes it to the Olympics. With that fucking attitude, if she loses on a world global scale, what you gonna do then? Imagine if she would have lost and did it afterwards. That probably would have been worse. So at least she did it while she was running, and she can make up the pathetic ass excuse of, I was just being clumsy. It was totally an accident. I absolutely didn't mean to cock my arm fully back and bop her in the head with a baton. But yeah, minimal damage. It's not that severe. It's not like the girl lost a limb or a finger even. But still, the intent was there. You keep eyes on this girl and make sure that she stays as far away from a marathon track as possible, because she's no good. I'm sorry. She's a terrible liar. No one's going to fucking believe her. No one does believe her for the most part. She has to face some sort of repercussions because of what she did. And you know what? To end that off with, this the ham and cheese sliders from Dunkin' Donuts, not bad, but so tiny that I'm going to be hungry afterwards, and I am right now. I can hear my stomach rumbling. Hopefully that's not picking up on the microphone. I had to come back with an update, only because this story continues to develop and gets further out of hand with the more details that come to light, as far as this little bitch, simply put, and I hate to call a child, a minor, that, but the best way to describe her is apropos solely as this bitch is doubling down. And it's thanks to the fucking parents with the irresponsible ass teaching and upbringing they gave her, to take no faults in what she's done, because now supposedly she's the only victim out of this whole ordeal, despite the fact the other girl has had to walk away concussed and literally injured because of her full-on intent. There's no lying in her body language. There's no lying in what she did. She's only sorry she got caught. Now she's holding press conferences about, thank y'all for your support, believing in me. These crocodile tears of mine are weighing down so heavy on my face and my life. You know, it's not fair. I get called racist things. I get death threats, which is true. No death threat should be involved in any of this, regardless of whichever side you fall on. And I can't believe it if you fall on the side of the attacker, not the attackee, or the victim, Betty had said. But holy shit, the fact that this is developing as it is continuing, and they got a GoFundMe to raise money to pay off their legal fees for a lawyer to not take the other girl, but to see the other girl in court and be able to defend themselves. I don't get it. I don't understand. And I hate fucking humans right now so much. I think we all feel that way at some point during the day. It's inevitable at this point, the way the world's continuing to turn as is, with no concerns or regards for like the simplest of shit. And the fact that no one wants to take accountability anymore for what they fucking did, especially this little fucking brat bitch. I'm sorry to have to say that again about a minor, someone underage obviously, but the disregard for the other girl's safety whatsoever, the insult as far as her attitude, her approach to the whole thing is concerned, because of her parents, because of her upbringing, and because of now her ego getting in the way of, but my mental health, because I got attacked in the comment section of wherever the fuck I was stupid enough to look at after this shit went viral like that. That's on you, you fucking little bitch. I'm sorry. This is probably going to get flagged on YouTube or something, but so be it.
Yo, it's over. All right, it's over. It's over. Move the mic. Move the mic.
Thank you.
All right.